So, welcome. Here is your hamstring return to play roadmap that you have asked for, and I'm going to talk you through it, but you're also going to be able to download it below as well as a print off. Now, one of the biggest things that you have with hamstrings and the way that you want to return them, the goal needs to be running as fast as possible. Simple. How? Because that's the thing that's going to protect your hamstring. Most people don't tear their hamstrings at top speed. They either tear them getting there or coming down from it. So think about that for a second. We have to make sure that your body has the capacity to do so. And the other challenge is that most physios will be very conscious and very conservative that you're dealing with, and they won't want to push you through the stages. I'm a speed specialist, and this is how we do this. This is how you get the results that you want, returning back quicker, faster, and more capable, because there are certain steps I'm going to talk you through now that are really often overlooked and overmissed. So every stage of your rehab, and we've got 2 red, 2 amber, 2 green. Now, the reason why there's not specific weeks for this, because it's about hitting certain KPIs and hitting certain qualities. And with that, you will then exit out of those red, amber, and green stages when you are capable. So that's why you can really compress it like an accordion, or really open it up as well, depending on the level. You may have just like a nasty overload, and you could go red, amber, green in less than 10 days, or you could have a grade 3C, which is probably the worst hamstring you can get before needing operation, and this could take you a year. And that's the really important. And I know I speak from experience, because I have currently had 2 8 centimeter 3C tears in my hamstring, and that has been taking me about a year because I didn't want to operate, because I believe that the body is really capable of returning really quickly. And on the other hand, I have had a grade 1 that I was told I would be out for 3 weeks, and I was out for 4 days, because you can be so aggressive with this stuff. So let me take you through the phases, and we categorize these for strength, power, speed. All right, very simple. Every stage you're in, you ask, how strong am I? How powerful am I? How fast am I? And so we gauge everything from a percentage of your top speed. So when you first start, now pain needs to be your guide. If you can walk, if you are able to walk, you should be doing some basic low-level drills. You should be, stepping on mini bikes, like little jogging. And I can copy some exercise links in below from my YouTube, which will help you with this. And they should be starting immediately, because that's your most specific load. So we're going to increase the specificity, and everything, all the conversation is all about running as we start. So you've got walking speed drills and low-level jogging. It's going to be the most specific stimulus that we can do. And then after that, you're going to be looking at some really low-level jumping circuits, because you want that hamstring to be working in the way that it needs to behave. And that could just be little short, if you've got like hamstring doesn't like deep range, so early days, so we want to not go full depth and anything, but you could do some light jumps up and down quite easy. You could do pogos on the spot. You could do jumping jacks. You could do spotty dogs, and just to really keep working that compliance. And then after that, you can do hamstring leg curls, so really targeting that hamstring specifically. You can do isometric holds, really targeting that hamstring specifically, and then make sure that as you're loading this through, that your body is progressing. We want to continually make sure that we are progressing all the way through. Then red 2. One of the biggest misconceptions that you will find in hamstring rehab is that you can't sprint. You actually can, and you can do, depending on your pain, in phases of rehab, you can start to do 1, 2, 3 steps of short acceleration. Prior, in the previous stage, that you can do your isometric wall drills, you can do your wall holds, you can replicate specific sprint positions and movements and load them, which is going to really shortcut the body and really speed up the transfer of the training, which is what we want. And then you can start to do actually 1, 2, 3 step accelerations. You can even use a heavy prowler and sleds if you've got the chance, because the maximum sprinting, because a lot of the time most people don't tear their hamstring accelerating. They will tear it at higher velocities. And this is a great way to load more specifically. So then we progress back up to the power. So we're actually going to jump at full range, but minimum effort, and then start to use more compound movements such as step ups and deadlifts, really loading the hamstrings and the hip extension mechanisms. And notice, there's two exercises. You don't really need to do too much in the way of strengthening some supportive trunk and everything like that, and you're really good to go. So as we move to the amber, let's work back from what you're going to find. So from power in red 2, we're now actually implementing that in amber 1 for strength. So we're going to use weighted kettlebell swings because that's replicating full range, nice elastic hamstring movement, really getting that tolerance back into the hamstring. Then we're full range jumping and actually progressing into hopping and medium effort. So you'd be doing full squat jumps, you'd be doing some full range broad jumps, you'd be doing lunge jumping, various stuff like that, and you would progress those from, red would be, our little jumping jacks, like 3 to 4 sets of 20. By amber, you're going to be doing 3 sets of 10 full range squat jumps, for example, with a medium effort, and 3 sets of 10 just short range hopping movements. This is where it gets cool because you can start to go to max effort sprinting, not max intensity sprinting. You're going to see that's next. But max effort, we want to start using that long build-ups here. And alongside this, from a conditioning point of view, for every stage, for example, when we go from red 1 to red 2, our speed drills that we've done there, we'll use them for conditioning, not the main session. So, and then we'll do our short accelerations on day 1, and then on day 2, we'll do our speed drills and low-level jogging to work the engine, then take a day off. So when we get to max effort sprinting, we're going to use short accelerations and jogging as our conditioning elements, or blend short acceleration with max effort sprinting, because we can push steps out to 6, 7 to 10 steps, for example, which will give us 15, 20 meters. And that's not exposing the hamstring, but really loading the hamstring. I hope you're really staying with me and you can see the logical trend that we're going on. And as you're hearing this, I hope you think, wow, this is a really accurate way. And I love the way of this thinking, because this is what I need. And that's why it's a really useful roadmap. And it's the roadmap that I've used with athletes in professional rugby, in the NFL, in professional football, the EPL, and actually installed with professional football teams from the Premier League all over the country. They use this framework, which is fantastic. So this is why we can turn things around a lot quicker at the top end. So as we move to amber 2, straight away, we're starting to get prepared to get back into full training. So you may do part of the training, you may do the warm-up and the first skills part of the training, and then slip away and do some max intensity sprinting, and then supported by weighted jumps. That's really how it starts to look now, because we're starting to consider how do we get ready for rugby, football, again, whilst topping up that top speed. So by this time, you'd be doing 3 to 4 runs up to 50, 40, 30 meters, maybe stepping them down and gradually building up the speed, because we're going to condense the time it takes to reach our max speed. And that's what we've done from red 1 all the way now to amber 2 is just decrease the time it takes to achieve our max speed again. And that's a really important and a really vital part. And we use the full training to start to really develop the conditioning and the repeatability of that, and the variability. When you get back into sport, you could do a 5 meter, then a 20 meter, then a 40 meter sprint. And that's going to really challenge that hamstring and gradually increase your layering back into team sport. And then as we're in green, we're back in full training. We're using full training to load speed. We're going to actually stop lifting weights at this stage. And you may think, I've done all that weightlifting, why am I stopping? Because what we're ignoring, is one of the things called the principle of specificity. Our specific goal here is to get ready for games. We've used weightlifting to get our hamstring ready to run, and we've used our jumping to improve our ability to sprint, and then we've used our sprinting as our ability to get back to playing the sport that we love. So we don't need to do it anymore. Doesn't say that we can't come back to it, but we don't need to do it anymore. And then after that, we are going to look at full training and into our matches. And then what we do is supplement with some specific hamstring tissue quality stuff and getting the body moving. And that's how this roadmap really pans itself out. And this is how this roadmap can really, really help you. Like I said, you can download it. And with all this information you've got in 10 minutes, you just want to use your basic sets of reps. You want to do 30-second isometric holds. You want to do 3 sets of 10 leg curls, for example, 3 sets of 5 deadlifts, 3 sets of 5 step ups, weighted swings, 3 sets of 5, like very, very simple stuff. And now jumping, we want to start from 3 sets of 20 and progress down to 3 sets of 5 on our full range max effort stuff, or 3 sets of 3. Gradually increase it down as we're building up. And then our speed stuff, we want to gradually increase our meterage as we increase our speed as well, so we can condense it and open it up. So if you head down below, there's going to be a chance to download this roadmap, and then also there is going to be an opportunity to see some of the exercises that are on my YouTube. And then lastly, if you want to learn more, you want me to just do your hamstring rehab for you, we can do that from a remote point of view, or I have a standalone hamstring rehab program which mirrors this template that you can buy. So I've sent you opportunities to do so. So just let me know, and or follow the links where you need to go, and I will speak to you soon. So I hope you really enjoyed that. Thank you very much.